Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market stream. So, just want to double check, make sure the volume's coming. Computer for some reason isn't working. Also, just wanted to mention that my computer is kind of running slow right now and kind of lagging a little bit ever since I opened up the streaming software. They've been telling me to do an update for a couple days, actually probably like a couple months. I've been blowing it off, so maybe that's why it's starting to run slow. So, yeah, I think the computer's kind of glitching out, and so again I could restart it, but anywho's. So what we'll do, because again, I already can tell that the computer's running a little bit slow here. So as long as the stream is coming through okay and you guys can hear my voice well enough, then what we'll do is just kind of go through and answer some questions about some stocks you guys have, because I won't really be able to maneuver my screen too well because my computer's being stupid this morning with just constantly glitching. So anywho's. So Daniel, in terms of Derm and in terms of PLAB, I don't know about Derm off the top of my head, but I know PLAB had a pretty decent day yesterday. I can try and pull it up as best as I can. Let's see, PLAB. So yeah, we'll rock and roll as much as we can with the stream, but things are being a little funky this morning. All right, so with PLAB, I personally did not expect PLAB to have as good of a day as it had yesterday. Okay, and the reason I say that is just more oftentimes than not, the earnings that we've seen it have yesterday usually don't result in like a 2-day continuation. So a lot of times they do, but yesterday, again, PLAB just wasn't the typical stock we would see go on like a 2-day run. So yesterday I kind of brushed it off and said, you know what, I don't think it's going to be that great. I ended up having a really good day. So anyways. Again, going into today, I would say that it's probably not going to have anywhere near as good as a day as yesterday. So I will say this comfortably, that based on how much it moved off earnings and how much it moved yesterday, the likelihood we see another day as explosive or as good is it's probably pretty small. Okay. All right. I will take a look at William, yep. So that was something we discussed this morning on Activision, ATVI. That's right. It's Activision, right? Right? Yeah. Anyways, on ATVI, we looked at ATVI and we looked at ATVI today in our chat room, and yes, we are starting to enter into the gap fill on that. So that is something is on kind of our swing trading watch list for right now. Nick, no, I wouldn't necessarily just get. I wouldn't necessarily get puts on PL. No, not particularly. Okay, so something I did want to mention here, guys, is that yesterday the market pretty much went flying because Donald Trump tweeted that I believe the phase 1 deal has been reached, or that was part of it, in that we're very close to a deal, and then the phase 1 deal had been reached, and so that's pretty much why the markets went flying. And then earlier this morning, if you looked at the market did take kind of a downturn pre-market, and that was because there was news from CNBC in regards to China that basically said China still sees major issues with the purchase of agricultural products, meaning that they still have concerns about maybe the phase 1 deal that Donald Trump said is good. So again, market's doing the whipsaw that we've been seeing for last 3 years anyways. Okay. Do I think weed stocks are on the rise again? I mean, yes and no. I mean, if you look at the marijuana stocks, I mean, they've all pretty much been beaten to shit over the past year, right? They all went through a bear market. So, yeah, now, I mean, if you believe the future of marijuana is bright, then which it probably is, yeah, now would be the time to start considering buying up some of these things. Now, when you buy them up, just don't think they're going to go instantly green. Most investments that you buy into are normally red when you first start for at least a portion. So I would anticipate that, it'll bounce back, but, is it something I'm investing in? I've really been questioning it lately. I've really been questioning whether or not I should slowly start adding money. Like maybe monthly, $150, $200, just kind of into marijuana and into the lows, maybe a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, just starting positions in it. That is something that I've been wondering myself. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to touch on I don't know, this is already suck. I'm going to touch on a couple things. AMRX from yesterday was a penny stock we put on the watch. This should still be watched for a long play today. We're going to be keeping an eye on AMRX long today. This should still be watched for a long bias trading. Today, after today, then I would probably put it on your bear watch list or maybe your non-tradable watch list or not long bias watch list, okay? Real quick, since the computer is being kind of weird today, ADBE had an earnings today. This is Adobe. You should watch ADBE today because, again, it had earnings, so this is going to bring in some volatility to the stock. If things set up right, this could have some nice movement. I mean, you can see the range from 300 to 317, so wide range, good opportunity here on ADBE today. Costco, they also reported. This should be watched again, too. Again, this is an earnings day. I'm probably going to be watching this long initially. I don't really care for it as a short for right now, so we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to be watching Costco. There's some more. There's ORCL. This is Oracle. Oracle reported earnings. Keep an eye on that one. And then there's one more, which is AVGO. This is Broadcom. They reported earnings as well. So really there's 4 earnings. Costco, which is COST, Adobe, ADBE, Oracle, ORCL, and then Broadcom is AVGO. Right? Did I repeat that? No, we're good. Okay. So those are all of them. Okay. Snapchat. Snapchat had a nice move up this morning. That's so far pretty bullish. Wow, this might go onto my watch list now. 1484. Yeah, no, I mean, Snapchat's really not in any sort of formation right now that I would trade myself. It's really just kind of like going back and forth, consolidating at the 1450 level. So, I mean, yeah, there's nothing here for us right now, so to speak. The range isn't really big on it either, so you're not going to make a whole lot of, change on the stock because there's just no range to it. So for right now, I myself would just basically be on standby. Snapchat. X, I'll take a look at X. So yeah, X is still, so we kind of broke out on X like we said. We were saying watch X this week for a long, and it's still performing. I mean, it hasn't given you a crazy move, but it is still performing in a more bullish manner. We've broken out of kind of the 13, 14, like the 1390s, and we've retested kind of 1350 holding well. Really the main question here for X is getting up to kind of this 200 moving average around 1511. Once it gets there, we'll probably see a little bit of resistance, and if it can get up and over the 200 moving average, hold over the 200 moving average, then there is some good potential for it to even press higher. So I would say that's still worth just kind of holding for now. But I would be getting concerned over like maybe today and into tomorrow. Let me double check the 4-hour chart. That's something right now the 4-hour chart's pretty bullish here on X. So it looks like X is going to have a bullish move today to the upside. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, it's still more bullish than bearish right now, that's for sure. But I would probably just stay bullish on the stock for now. In AMD, somebody had asked me about AMD, and I'm not going to lie, I do apologize. I kind of brushed it off like it was nothing. Didn't really put enough attention into it because AMD had been kind of in this kind of consolidation range. I was like, well, it's probably just going to keep consolidating, right? I didn't really see the move. So if I would have paid closer attention, I probably would have been able to see a long, but wouldn't have known it was going to be this explosive. So AMD had a great move yesterday, and it was also accompanied by the great news of the market, which was the trade deal that caused the market to explode. So AMD would have never had such an explosive day yesterday if it weren't also for the market having a really good day. So there was kind of like a combination of the technical setup, some recent news with AMD and their new graphics card or chip or whatever it was they just released, and then the market also exploding. Right, so all that combined set this up for just a monster move. So yesterday, AMD moved like, what did it move from 39.50 to 43.50. So just alone, I mean, that's like 4 points, right? Am I right? Yeah, that would be 3.5. So yeah, it moved 4 points yesterday. So that's like 300% of its average true range. Do I think it's going to continue moving today? It's hard to say. I actually don't expect another explosive day out of it. First, this is the truth. I would watch this long. For sure, watch it long bias first. But don't think we're going to have such an explosive day like yesterday. Yesterday, the stock moved 400% more, basically like 300 or 400% more than it would typically move in a day, and it did that all yesterday. So to think that it's going to move 400% more than it would typically do on an average day today, probably not going to happen. So I would just keep this on watch for a long play for now, but don't anticipate as great of a move as yesterday, but still anticipate that some of the excitement and FOMO for traders is going to roll over from yesterday into today, and they're going to go, ooh, I'm going to trade AMD. See what it did yesterday? Look at that move. It's so crazy. It's breaking out. We're all going to hop in and make so much money. So that FOMO and excitement from yesterday can very well roll over into today's trading on AMD, and that's what I would be anticipating playing is everybody else's excitement for the stock, but not anticipating that, we're going to just rip like that yesterday. So it's definitely going to be, so my scanner should be up like next week. Again, I don't know if you guys can hear me right now. Computer's being super stupid right now. But the scanner should probably be up next week. Basically, yeah. So just anticipate by next week we're going to have scanners up. Okay. Hold on, I'm reading a couple questions here. Ryan, yeah, so Baba I probably would stay more long bias on for right now. I haven't seen it. I've seen this more earlier. Could have changed a little bit, though. Mr. Custom, I don't know. I haven't looked into like that enough. Personally, I want to say chips. And the reason I say that, not that I know for sure, but the reason I say that is because I do see a strong correlation between China, United States trade deal news and chip stocks having really good moves. Days where we have strong positive news of trade, we tend to see, or negative news of trade, a lot of times we'll see chip stocks affected more, than we do kind of some, and not even necessarily like